obviously, if you clicked on this video, you are not another NPC who has no concept of improving themselves. And if you're watching this, you've probably watched plenty of other self-improvement videos as well, which also means that you have most likely started your self-improvement journey. Perhaps you're in the gym, or you're reading, or you're doing the 100 other things that you're supposed to be doing apparently on your self-improvement journey. So you wake up early every day, you take cold showers, you work out, you do all this stuff, right? And then one day you wake up and it just doesn't feel right. You don't feel right, basically. And eventually you just break because you are struggling with something on your journey. And you feel like you made all this effort and sacrifice, yet at the same time you're still on square one. But you end up watching another Hamza or Alex Ramosi video, and you know what? You get right back into the grind. And you just keep doing this over and over and over again. Because what it is a quite literal never-ending trap. And they do this through dopamine addiction. For example, a lot of these self-improvement gurus out there will tell you, oh, to make $10,000, you have to read a book a week for a year. Otherwise, you'll never get anywhere. First of all, bullshit. But then what happens is you read all of these self-improvement books, and every single time you finish one, you feel like you accomplished something. You feel like you're getting better, you're becoming a better person. And right after that, you go and buy the next book and you read it and you get the same feeling, and so on and so forth. But the big problem is that you aren't actually achieving anything. And this is the whole concept of action faking, which is doing things to make you feel like you're making progress when you're not. It's getting business cards for the business that you're starting, or reading about business but never actually taking any action. It's kind of like procrastination, but even worse, because you're actively tricking yourself into thinking that you're doing something when in reality you're not. And this is promoted more than anything by social media. When you go on YouTube or Instagram and you watch these self-improvement motivational videos, that's exactly what happens as well. You watch them all and you feel like you're being productive because you're watching these motivational clips, right? But in reality you're not, because before you know it, you've been sitting there for hours and hours and hours not actually doing anything. And this is a trap that all of these people and self-help gurus want you to fall into, because it makes you a repeat customer, somebody that they can rely on to actively purchase their stuff. Because any patient healed is a customer loss. And this isn't just the self-help, YouTubers or whatever. It is pretty much the entire self-help, self-care industry. So instead of falling into this trap, what can you actually do? Well, the easiest answer is to take action. And the best way to do that is with the video that I made only a few months ago on the best way to make money online. Because once you know that, you can take action and truly escape it. So with that said, this video is great, but this one will really get you started. So it's been a couple days, and to be honest, I thought that was a good enough video, right? That I exposed the never-ending trap that people fall into, and then told them how to make money and take action. But I just feel like I never truly explained to you how to escape the trap. And part of it is because it's not just as simple as anyone thinks. But after thinking for a bit, I've broken it down into 3 separate pillars to turn this self-improvement trap into actually becoming the best version of yourself. So pillar 1 is that you need to have core goals. Because when you have too many goals, you then have too many daily tasks, which results in you never actually getting anything done. Or oftentimes people will have very broad goals, so all they have are these loose concepts of what they want to achieve, and they aren't specific whatsoever. Both are very bad. So you need your core goal, the main thing that you envision yourself achieving. This has to be what you work for on a daily basis, and what this whole self-improvement journey is kind of centered around as well. Some people call it your why, some people will call it, your driving factor. Whatever you want to call it, it's something that you need. So now you have this thing envisioned. You know what it is. You have it right here. Everything else needs to take a back seat now. So say this goal is laid out for a year. Okay, to hit this goal in a year, what do I need to do this month? Okay, to hit this month's goal, what do I need to do this week? And even to hit this week's goal, what do I need to do today? And what you need to do today are your daily buttons. For example, every single day I have things that I will do. In the evenings, specifically, I have a routine. I'll eat dinner, I'll edit videos for about 2 hours, I'll then do a workout, I'll then shower, and then finally I'll read. And I do that pretty much every single evening. And you need to come up with your own routine and ritualize it pretty much. And the easiest way to do this is have certain points in your day where you pretty much will do the exact same thing at the same time. Eating breakfast, taking a shower, walking your dog, all of these things are like checkpoints throughout your day to keep you on the right track when they're built in correctly. Now the next pillar to this is not thinking long term. So we somewhat solve this by having a long-term goal. But if you're so focused on the end of this month or this week in terms of your self-improvement journey, you're not going to get very far. Because what's pretty much going on is you're focused on instant gratification compared to these goals that are years or multiple years away even. And the other mistake that people will often make is saying, oh, well, you know, my goal is 1, 2, 3 years away, so I have time and I don't need to do anything today. And if somebody is doing that, all that means is that they quite literally have shit goals. And that's not you, right? So you need to develop what is called patient urgency. And in the simplest definition, this is a state where you have a long-term horizon that you're patient for, but goals still big enough that you must act urgently to actualize them. A lot of the time what happens with these young entrepreneurs or these people that are working on themselves or they're on their journey, whatever, what happens is they make the biggest mistake possible by not staying consistent on these long-term goals. And what I mean by this is 2 or 3 months into their business, they see some shiny object. You know that friend who's making 8 grand a month selling sneakers, so you know what? You decide, I'm gonna try selling sneakers as well. And you end up not putting your full effort into your original business because you're doing this sneaker thing on the side. And I've seen it happen time and time again. And you'll even see it online where you'll see people who are, you know, hitting the gym twice a day. They've got like 6 different girlfriends, they're trying to buy this car, and then they're starting this agency trying to provide a service that they either don't know or don't care about. And at the end of the day, most of this stuff just ends up coming down to either wanting short-term gratification or your long-term goal lacking clarity. So really clarify that long-term goal and do not get shiny object syndrome. Pillar 3, however, is something that people don't generally think about, and this is called SSS, or subconscious self-sabotage. Our subconscious brain can process over 11 million bits of information per second, while our conscious brain can only process 40. And when we are working and improving on ourselves, we are generally introducing all of these new things into our lives. And usually what happens is you introduce something new, it floats on the top of your conscious brain, and then it floats away. It never really sinks into the ocean that is your subconscious brain that is responsible for all of these subconscious systems that you never notice, but that dictate every single action that you do or don't take. And the scary part for a lot of people is that these systems don't listen to your conscious brain. You can tell it something and it will simply block you out, all because you are not its master. Your identity is. And your identity is not the affirmations that you yell at yourself in the mirror or the pump that you get at the gym. No, your identity is what you truly believe deep down about yourself at the end of the day. And if you truly believe deep down that everybody hates you or that you're stupid or that your mind is weak, whatever it is, your subconscious brain is going to have you acting differently. So what you need to do is rewire your identity. And essentially this is finding who your ideal self is, who you really want to be, and how this all aligns with your goals. And then the version of yourself that can achieve those goals. And at that point, you need to visualize it to the point where you feel emotions as if you are already that person. And if you do this consistently over time, you'll be introducing that new identity over and over into your subconscious. However, if you do not cement that new identity, it will not stick. For example, if the ideal version of yourself goes to the gym 6 times a week, when you actively do that and you get to the point where you aren't even thinking about it, that is you cementing your new identity. And for a lot of you guys, you probably only have one single bad habit or thing that you say or mannerism that you make, whatever it is, you only have one single thing that is keeping that old identity present in your life. And by far the easiest way to gain self-awareness on whatever this habit or thing is through meditation. I know some of you guys are gonna go, oh, well, I've done meditation before and it doesn't do anything. Trust me, if you do it for multiple days a week for at least 10 minutes, you will have identified this bad habit in your life. And once you really start to remove that old bad habit, you will have now cemented in your new ideal self. So overall, the 3 pillars are: get a core goal, think long-term and stay consistent, and shift your subconscious identity. If you can do those 3 things, your self-improvement journey will be effortless compared to before. I'm not saying it won't require work, but it will get you out of the never-ending self-improvement trap. And on a side note, I want to share a quick productivity tip that has boosted my productivity more than anything else. And this is simply putting your phone on airplane mode. It allows you to focus on the task in front of you, without your phone constantly dinging and everything and all the notifications, and it works wonders. And now that you've escaped the self-improvement trap, the next step is to truly know how to make money in this day and age. So like I said earlier, in this video, I break it down. So click it and I'll see you there.